Good day everyone, I am Meraldine Joy Ponce, together with my groupmates Rhea Calipusan and Junaiza Ismael. Now, we will tackle the Chapter 3, Lesson 3, entitled Drill and Practice. So, for the introduction, we are familiar about the saying na practice makes perfect, right? So, it means that the more you practice something, the better you become at it. And repeating a skill helps you improve and gain confidence and also achieve mastery over time. So, drill and practice strategy could be effective if an individual wants to master skills such as performing first aid procedures or performing dance, especially the cha-cha. So, drill and practice is important, especially when it comes to master skills like performing the first aid. So, one example of this is katong activity namo sa SK wherein kami sa among barangay is nagdalamig mga youth didto sa Kasigbit or kanang silingan namo na barangay to participate on their activity which is the BLS training or the basic life support training. So dito, day by day is naga-lecture sila and naga-practice sila or drill sila about how to assist or help when if there is accident happen or even kanang mga other emergencies like kanang mga naglisod og ginhawa, kanang mga need iadto og hospital or kanang mga buntis na kanang mga nakay. So didto is gidemo sa instructor kung unsa ilang buhaton and afterwards is ginaalaw sila na mag-conduct or practice ato na scenario. And when it comes to performing dance naman, of course, dili na to mahimo ang usa ka sayaw if ever wala ta niagi og practice, right? So, to make the dance perfect, so need jud nato na mag-practice para ma-master nato ang every step sa sayaw. According to Silverman and Mercer 2015, the physical education teachers play an essential role in developing the motor skills needed to become physically literate. So of course, the teacher jud is naa siya big responsibility or naga-play siya og essential role para pod na ang motor skills sa mga bata is improve and sila ang nagahatag og mga activities pod to help the children become more physically literate. According to Marwan 2018, he defines that a drill as a method in which the pupil is invited to skills training to see how to make something, how to use it, what is it made for, its benefits, and others. So sa drill is diraan nato ma-learn kung unsaon paghimo sa usa ka butang. So let's just say for example, when it comes to fire drill, so naay times na mga taga BFP is nagakandak sila og seminar and training sa mga schools or sa mga barangays. So diraan nato mahibal-an ang mga buhaton nato if ever maka-experience ta or makasaksi ta og sunog. Or even kanang sa mga schools na nagakandak og earthquake drill. So diraan makaibaluta kung unsa nga atong angay buhaton if ever na may linog na mahitabo. So on the other hand, the practice is defined as using an idea to gain familiarity and expertise according to Muhammad 2020. So again, like what I've said earlier, na para mahimong successful ang usa ka butang, we need to conduct practice or try and error kumbaga para pod na usa ka butang is mahimong perfect. Like sa sayaw, so kung para mahimong perfect ang ato ang sayaw, we need to conduct practice before ang performance. There are two types of drill and practice. So the first one is the mass practice. So it occurs when one skill is continuously practiced in a session with only a brief rest period or not at all. So this type of practice is suitable for highly motivated students. So one example of this is when the students practice dribbling a basketball continuously na siya for 10 minutes without breaks. So it can improve their immediate performance. However, they may experience fatigue and struggle with long-term skill retention. So of course, if naga-dribble ka og basketball for 10 minutes, syempre kapuyon man jud ka na. So this type of practice is yes, suitable lang siya for highly motivated pupils. So, the second one is the distributed practice. So, this type of practice is broken up into several short sessions over a long period. So, pupils distribute their effort in doing an activity over many relatively short study sessions. So, one example of this is the students sing and memorize a few lines of a song each day instead of trying to learn the whole song in one practice. So again, one example of this is katong practice ta o kanta sa tuang graduation sa grade 6 and sa moving up sa grade 10. So, each day is nalantay specific na stanza or verse na dira lang ta kutob arang adlaw kana lang na verse ang atong praktisan, and paulit-ulit lang na siya hantod sa ma-familiarize sa mga students ang tono sa kanta. So hantod sa mabuo na ang whole song, so diha na pod na kanang praktisan na jud nila ang whole song na in one practice na pod.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ismael. I am report methods of the drill and the practice. Next is number 1 is whole method. This method is a show in the entire skill and the practice to from to begin to the end. It's help the student to learn the skill, improve the timing, and see the final results. Halimbawa, ang guro ay nagtuturo ng buong sayaw at inulit ito ng mga mag-aaral mula sa simula hanggang dulo upang makakuha ng tamang galaw at tamang sayaw. Next is the number 2 is a part mental. This mental is a practice the small the parts of the skill one at a time. It's help the difficult skill in keeping learning focus while improving specific parts. Halimbawa, ang isang maglalaro ng basketball ay nagsasanay muna sa dribbling bago matutong magpasa or mag-shoot. Next is the number 3 is whole part and whole mental. The mental skill is to show the first, then divide two smaller parts. To practice and improve the before holding it back together. Halimbawa, ang isang swimming ay unang pinakita ng buong strong, pagkatapos ay nagsasanay muna sa galaw ng braso at paa, bago pagsamahin muli ang lahat ng kilos ng katawan. Next is the number 4 is the progressive departmental. Also called the tuning method, this focus on the practicing each part of the skills, one by one, then connecting him step by step. Halimbawa, ang isang tagatugtog ay unang pinag-aralan ng mga nota ang isang bahagi na kanta bago pagsamahin ang lahat upang matugtog ito ng buo.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I am Calipusan, and now let's continue to the advantages and disadvantages of using drills and practices. So first, we will tackle the advantages of using drills and practices. So the first one is the pupils can apply knowledge through interaction. So drills and practices provide a structured way for students to apply the knowledge they have learned in a classroom setting. So by engaging in repetitive activities, they can solidify their understanding and see how concepts works in a practice. So second one is the pupils can learn certain concepts efficiently and effectively. So repetitive practices help students learn concepts efficiently and effectively. By repeatedly working through examples and exercises, they build muscle memory and internalize the information. So by doing by using drills and practices repeatedly, students or the pupils will learn certain concepts. So the third one is teaching the pupils various repetitive activities can help them and use it in a different environments and many different ways. So drills and practices can be adapted to various learning styles and environments. So teachers can create different types of drills to cater to visual learners, auditory learners, or even the kinesthetic learners. So this activity can be used in individual, small groups, or whole class settings, so making them flexible for different classroom settings or setups. So the fourth one is it can accommodate the diverse characteristics of the pupils. So of course, we all know that in a classroom, our students or our pupils have different personalities and attitudes. So drills and practices can help accommodate the diversity characteristics of students. So teachers can adjust the difficulty level and pace of drills to meet the needs of individual learners. So this can help ensure that all students have the opportunity to succeed. So the fifth one is the pupils can acquire and master high-level skills quickly and effectively. So drills and practices can help students quickly and effectively acquire and master high-level skills. The repetitive nature of these activities allows students to break down complex skills into smaller, manageable steps, gradually building proficiency. So the sixth one is materials needed can be easily prepared. So materials needed for drills and practices are often easy to prepare. So teachers can use readily available resources such as worksheets, flashcards, or online platforms to create engaging and effective drills. So that's why this is one of the advantages of using drills and practices that we as a teacher, the materials that we need for using drills and practices is can be easily prepared. So the last one is the teacher can easily monitor the pupils if they can perform the routines well or needs an assistance. So drills and practices allow teachers to easily monitor students' progress. So by observing students as they work through their exercises, teachers can identify areas where students are struggling and provide targeted support. So of course, if our routines or our drills and practices that we use are repetitively applied to our students, so we as a teachers can monitor the pupils if they perform the routines well or the students needs an assistance. So we will proceed to the disadvantages of using drills and practices. So there are three disadvantages. So the first one is the pupils who only learn from drills may get easily bored and distracted. So, boredom and distraction. So, repetitive drills can lead to a boredom and distraction if not implemented thoughtfully. So, students may lose interest if they feel that the activities are monotonous or lack of variety. This can hinder their engagement and learning. So, of course, if we use drills and the practices nga repetitively na jud siya or balik-balik na jud siya, kay even though nakita na nato improvement or ang progress sa ato ang mga students, so ma-bored na jud siya og ma-distract na jud ang mga students kay maingon sila balik-balik lang man ni. So ma-bored na siya din na ang tendency dili na nila perform well ang mga drills and practices nga atong i-use. So as a teacher, we should think outside the box kung unsa ang makahatag og engagement sa mga students nato ana dili sila ma-bored or ma-distract. So the second one is the pupils may merely rely on rote memorization and remembering without fully understanding. So drills can sometimes encourage rote memorization without a deep understanding of the underlying concepts. So students might be able to recite facts or procedures but struggle to apply them in different concepts. So of course, we use drills and practices repetitively. So mga students kay magsalig na lang sila nga memorize naman namo ni, na remember na nako ni. Pero if pangutanon nimo sila on what kanang unsa to nga mga drills, wala sila kasabot, gi-memorize lang nila. So that is one of the disadvantages of using drills and practices. So last one is the pupils as well as the teacher tend to overemphasize technical skills and direct instructions. So there's a risk of overemphasizing technical skills and direct instructions when relying heavily on drills. So this can limit students' opportunities for critical thinking, problem solving, and creative exploration. So of course, dili na kay gi-memorize na lang man o gi-remember na lang man sa mga students ang mga drills and practices na atong gi-use. So of course, dili na sila dili na sila maka critically thinking o maka problem solve. So anong mag-think pa man sila ana if na-memorize na nila and na-remember na nila. So that is one of the disadvantages of using drills and practices. So drills and practices are valuable for skill development, and knowledge application. So it helps students master foundational concepts. However, they can lead to boredom, rote memorization, and overfocus on technical skills if used it excessively. So to optimize their effectiveness, we educators should balance drills and diverse learning activities that encourage critical thinking and real-world application. So this approach ensures that students remain engaged while developing a deeper understanding of the material that we use. So that would be all for our report.